Welcome to Cranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Cranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always win. Come on, let's get into it. I'm late. Good evening. I don't know why I'm so excited. People. Don't love me miserably. I come into the chat. I see 3 likes on 11 people in the chat. That can't right, people. Come on, man. Do better. We can do better. Good evening. Welcome to the Cranky Life program. Bless up Drew Ross and Sherman. Good evening. I have much to talk about. I have some things jotted down. Let me look at my list first, because I want to jump into the program right away. I like to go off on tangents. That's how I do my thing. So I know Zelensky was in Washington this week, trying to get a peace deal done for Ukraine. Who was in Washington from Palestine trying to get a peace deal done? Because people dying like flies. I saw something where Israeli military leader says they want to kill 50 Palestinians for every Israeli that died on October 7th, so that Palestinians will never do what they did on October 7th. And you don't care if children are involved in it. Inhumanity is pervasive, people. So you just don't want to kill the perpetrators. You want to kill as many of the supposed opponents as possible to deter them going forward. When in 1948 they took the people's land, and that's why the West is, Europe and America, do things which are ridiculous, people. Push people out of their land, and then since then, people have been persecuted. I'm not sure how persecuted people become the persecutors, but yeah, it's interesting. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you have gone through trauma, but I guess the people who are persecuting didn't go to the trauma, their ancestors did, and that's why they operate the way they do. And if everybody said anything in any public domain, they get canceled. Bless up, Dr. Dan. Now, I dropped a video yesterday. Go look at my video, people. You know something I realized? My nephew walked me through this yesterday. I keep dropping these videos through StreamYard, and StreamYard is a live streaming platform. And so they don't land as videos, they land as if this live and people come on and think I'm on. So I have to repurpose that. I like to go to StreamYard because it does automatically my clips. If I don't, then I got to go pay like $15 to have Opus do it for me. And I don't like to just waste money. I got to do the clips manually, which I'm not doing. But I dropped a video. It was only about 10 minutes yesterday on the God question. Now, I know how passionate some people are about this. I grew up in Jamaica. I went to church. I grew up with my great-grandmother. After that, we'll talk. I grew up with my great-grandmother. So you can't tell me nothing about church. You can't tell me what I'm used to go to boring Presbyterian church. When people try to educate me and inform me about church and God and all that, I have to smile. Now, I did admit that I divorced church when I was a teenager. I won't say what age as a teenager. I did divorce church because I realized I couldn't ask the pastor any question. I've always been a very inquisitive kid and a very rebellious kid. And it's translated through my entire career. Get me in trouble a lot of times, but also allow me to be grounded, have some integrity, have some morality, try to do the right thing at all times. And which is being confirmed by my nephew, who tells me he always see me trying to do the right thing. And I live by that motto and by those principles. right? But go watch a video, people. Don't watch a video. I mean, most of you guys who are on my channel, because I check the analytics, you watch it on the phone, so you can go watch it. But watch a video and give me your thoughts. What I don't want is people to say, because I realized when I dropped the shorts, those shorts which are real controversial, people stay away from them. It's almost like, oh my God, I can't touch that. I'm always telling people two things. One is this: get comfortable with the uncomfortable. So if you're uncomfortable about God and believing, get comfortable with it. Get comfortable with it. Ask the question. Because whoever made us gave us the ability to ask the question. Why wouldn't you ask it? Right? And then secondly, I don't think there's any question you shouldn't ask. And people seem to fear and run away from these things because we've been put into this bucket where we're being brought up around the fear of hell and the fear of hell. I don't want to say L, like the letter L. The fear of hell, the concept of heaven. People blow themselves up, especially those in the Islam religion, to go to heaven to go meet virgins. I have to laugh when it comes to those things, people. I live by the concept of logic. I will never tell anyone not to serve God, not to support God, not to worship God. That's their prerogative. What I'm not going to do, though, is question certain things. And that's what that video does. And I did drop the video early, and I did change it because I put some music behind it, give it some more smoothness to it, appease people somewhat. Some people probably unsubscribe because they're so uncomfortable. And I understand that, but I'm going to live with that because I refuse to conform to something which or anything which I'm not comfortable with. I have to ask the tough questions. I have to ask the right questions. I have to do things which I'm comfortable with. And so I am not going to be in this bucket where I can't ask questions. Sorry, not doing it. So yesterday it was a video about contrast. The video was more about all these paradox, all these contradictions, all these opposites, and why are they the way they are? But anyway, and to top that out, I did talk to Pastor today. Pastor called me, Pastor start reading, Pastor called me, Pastor get excited, Pastor called me. So on August 31st, because Pastor says he's been very, very busy in his regular vocation, he wants to have a conversation with me on my channel at 3:30 p.m. So whatever you're doing, we're going to have the conversation. I haven't read the Bible in eons, bless up Gunners, in eons. So I may have to go do a little bit of research on the Bible and read certain things. But I used to read the Bible so much when I was a teenager, and I have an atrocious memory, and I still remember some of it. And you can go check the facts in my video, and some people are going to say, well, you misinterpret that. Why is it that we always misinterpret in the Bible? Why is it that nobody understands what's being written? And here's the last thing I'm going to say about this. It's amazing. We are in 2025, and the Bible is what? And we're what, 3,000 something plus after BC? We're after Christ now. So the Bible was written what? Way before, a bit before Christ, and then we have the Old and New Testament, and then we have the whole concept of Moses and Solomon and Job. There is so much stuff there. But the thing that I find interesting is this, is that why is it in modern times we don't see anyone who has, well, they say they do, but we don't feel anyone is credible who say they have talked to God and God have given them instructions and we're not taking. Why is it in the old days? And we rubbish anything that's too far back, right? Unless it's something like Newton or Socrates or those things, but we rubbish most of those things, right? But now we take it as if it's gospel and it's right and it has to be right. And I would say this to you: who did the Arawaks worship? Who did the Incas worship? Was it the same God that we worship, or just some being that they believe is out there because they don't know? So anyway, Pastor, on this debate, it's not a debate. It's not a debate. It's a conversation. I'm gonna call it a debate. We have a conversation on the 31st at 3:30 p.m. on a Sunday, because Sundays are supposed to rest there in God's time. You know? We have the conversation. Can we have enough questions? Enough questions. Yeah. The pastor's going to make to explain it to you. Hey people, I watch a lot of videos and I don't really watch TV anymore. I was watching one a while ago where there's someone who was a 200 IQ. You have to understand, Newton IQ was 190. I think, Newton was 190 IQ. This man is have a 200 IQ. That means he's smarter than Newton. I'm not sure that worked because Newton was one who come with how to explain gravity and all of that. But don't ask me. And he says God exists and he can mathematically calculate God. Oh, Lord. I'm not that smart. But I know nonsense when I hear it. But anyway, and I'm not telling anybody there's no God because I cannot say that. Nobody can say that. But also nobody can tell you or confirm to you or provide empirical evidence that there is, even though many say that they can. So anyway, let's go to the football. But I said August 31st, I will be having a conversation with Lansley Blake, who is as affectionately known in this forum as Pastor. Now, bless up Odell. Now I'm here to talk EPL 1 and 2, some track and field. And I realized that the track and field people are much more supportive than the EPL. Even though me talk no football, I watch the numbers them, and people like Gunners who do have them on channel can talk about the numbers them. I tell the track and field people them, I gravitate towards them more because they make me feel good. Anyway, so it was an interesting start to the season, right? We started on Friday with Bournemouth against Liverpool. Very emotional day for the Liverpool fans and for the Liverpool team, given that Jota obviously is no longer here. He passed away with his brother in Spain, and difficult time for a lot of people. But the game, Liverpool was a better team in the game. Bournemouth has lost 3 of their 4 defenders, or the starters from the defensive team, including Kirkes, who I thought was poor against Bournemouth. Maybe it has emotional element to it in terms of playing against his old team. But the interesting thing about the game were a couple of things. One is Ekitike looked like a decent player. Gakpo keeps scoring from cutting from the wing. Salah scores he normally does, even though I don't think he had the greatest game. And Chiesa, who was being a forgotten man, also scored, which is really, really interesting. But what I really realized is that, as Gunners is saying in the chat, is that Liverpool backline is not the greatest. And that was the same you saw against Palace. You've seen against a number of teams is not the greatest. Maybe Van Dijk is getting a little bit older. Maybe Kirkes. I don't think Frimpong is the best defender. He's great going forward. Reminds me of Trent. He doesn't have Trent range of passes. A little bit different player, but very offensive minded. But he was better than Kirkes. Kirkes was just jumping in the tackles, and we'll see what happens. But their defense doesn't look the greatest. They didn't have Gravensburg, which makes it big deal for them because they didn't really have a true 6. McAllister was supposed to be in that role, and Szoboszlai helping him, but that wasn't working as well as it should. Bournemouth have a decent team. I think the one thing that came out of that game, apart from Liverpool winning, and they starting off the defending their title, bless up Max City. He was a right wing back. Yeah, well, he's got to learn to play fullback. Because what was Trent? Trent was not a defender. Trent couldn't defend himself, and we'll see that at Real Madrid even more so. But he's a brilliant passer. But the Semenyo situation, the racism that he encountered from someone who is also a disabled person, which is really interesting. And I was reading an article about him for some people who were in the same vicinity talking about what transpired. And I know England like to talk about other countries like Italy or Spain as to what they do or don't do and how racism is pervasive there as if they don't have racism in England. My problem with how England handle these things is this. Jim White, Simon Jordan, and all of them. All these middle-aged white men, all these middle-aged white Caucasian male, I put them all in the same bucket for some reason, which is unfair. Whether it's Jordan, White is probably past middle-aged now. He's on the other side. What's his name? There's a name that's slipping me. They're always making excuses. It's a very small minority. No, it's not. We don't know what the size is of the people who are racist in England. We don't. Stop saying it's just very small minorities or one-on-one people. No, those are the ones who got caught. They're the ones who are stupid enough in public to express their perspective. But I'm tired of hearing this bull. And then we see Saka and Rashford and Sancho get destroyed at the Euros when they miss their penalty. We see, what's her name? from the women's team the other day getting destroyed. Racism, we see Sterling and Stanford, but we see it continuously. You're going to say it's a small minority. That's nonsense. And what I find interesting is I was watching AFTV this morning, and they were talking about the racism incidents. And then Abby, as you know, who had her own problems when she was a teenager, I think 17, whatever her age was, he posted some stuff in social media, which are as racist as one can get. And I'm a little bit surprised that, first of all, they didn't come out in public and talk about it. So this morning, the first thing I hear them talking about it is that they had behind the scenes discussion. But Robbie is a hypocrite. I'm sorry, he is. And you say, why is he a hypocrite, Cranky? Two things. One is when Claude, who died now, Claude is an older Caucasian gentleman who used to be in Robbie's program. He has since died. And he made a comment, which wasn't as egregious as Abby's comment, about, stereotyping the Asian community. But he wasn't specific about any individual. He made a comment, which then get affiliated with the Asian community. And Robbie disregarded him and banned him, right? There's another gentleman on the channel who wanted to make some comment in the public forum. I can understand people don't want to combine social situations with a sports channel, but you want to talk about Palestine, what was happening, and Robbie also pushed back and banned it, right? But then he took Abby back, and then he wanted persons to accept her, and they don't say anything, nothing to the general public. And she talked about it this morning. I must admit, I'm sitting there watching it and just saying, really interesting. Now, I'm not saying that you should cancel someone because of these situations, because then I'll be a hypocrite, because I'm saying Greenwood should be assimilated back in society, even though Greenwood was never proven guilty. But Abby is guilty of what she did, right? Greenwood was a he said, she said situation. Abby acknowledged what she said. And it was, I forgot where, I probably should have pulled it up, bad. Like, unbelievable comments for a 17-year-old about black people. Seriously. Yeah. I've exactly gone on. So I don't understand. Robbie hasn't come out and said anything and explained himself. And I think he should, actually. Because every time I see her, that's what I think about. I'll be totally honest. Now, it was funny talking about this and being canceled, because my nephew asked me last night. So this is funny. So after I dropped the video, my nephew came by and I said, "Oh, go watch a video." I dropped the video, the one on the God question. And he watched the video and he said, "Hey, uncle, you don't afraid they cancel you?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, that video could be a little bit controversial." And I said to him, so this is going to people say, cranky, egotistical. I said, you can't cancel retired people, because when you retire, you actually cancel yourself. Now I'm doing this for whatever reason. I call it more fun than anything else. It's hard to cancel people who are retired, I can just go on the beach and go sit down and get beaten by the sun if people decide they don't want to watch me anymore. Right? But you can't cancel. It's hard to cancel retired people. I don't have a vocation. I don't have a job. You go to and I get fired. I don't work at ESPN. I don't work in corporate anymore. So it's hard to fire me. You may not want to engage with me. You may think I'm toxic, but you can't cancel me in the traditional cancel sense. I'm not Kanye West, who has to deal with Adidas and going to cancel you, don't buy this product. And by the way, in those situations, I believe, you see how much I digress already from the EPL, that black people got to own their own things. And I'm not covering my mouth when I talk about these things. But the only reason Kanye West get canceled because he doesn't own anything. He may be a very rich person, but he's subservient to Adidas. Unless you own it, then anybody can take it away from you. Now, they may own it and they want to buy it, but you're always going to find an audience if your product is good enough. Anyway, so back to the whole Liverpool thing. Unfortunate, shouldn't happen. Person, I think, got arrested. But it continues to happen. And here's what I don't understand. I will admit this. I don't understand why people are racist. No, seriously. And it may sound naive on my point. I just don't understand. Like, if you're a Caucasian, you're already in a superior position just by your color and your... Why are you looking down on somebody else who is not as good a position as you? Even if they have more money than you, even if they're smarter than you, you're still in a position based on how the race hierarchy is. Why you don't like those people? Why you hate them? Why you have to express that hate? It's amazing to me. Actually, the people you've put into slavery and you've destroyed their history, and you're still not comfortable. You still want to downtrodden on them more and more. I don't get it, people. I don't get the racism thing. It's weird to me. And first of all, if someone I haven't experienced it, I will admit, maybe I did, but I didn't recognize it. But I don't know how I would react in those situations. But I just think it's unfortunate. It shouldn't happen. And hopefully, I don't say hopefully it's going to happen again. So I'm going to say hopefully it doesn't happen again. It's going to happen again. Because some people they grew up that way. And in their household, that's how they operate. And they took it out to the public domain. But anyway, let's go back to the football. I digress enough. So Liverpool won. And Bournemouth will be okay. They're not going down. They have a good team and they buy new players. I think the Akita who just came in had 2 practices and he looked decent. Even though they probably should have been down to 10 men, given the handball that wasn't given in the first 10 minutes of the game. Tottenham played a promoted team. They won. They scored 3 goals. Richarlison scored 2. Brendan Johnson scored. Always have a tap in. You need a forwards who are going to have those tap in. But we see what Tottenham look like. If they get Savino and they get Eze, it'll be an interesting season for us as Arsenal fans, given the rivalry with Tottenham, because we were linked with Eze throughout the entire transfer period until now, and then all of a sudden we have moved on. And we talk about the Man U game, but we need creative players because we ain't got any. Sunderland and West Ham. West Ham were poor. They made Sunderland look like a world-beaten team. I mean, I know Xhaka is going to motivate that team really well. I'm a big Xhaka fan, frankly. People at Emirates, and I have friends in England don't like Xhaka because he told them to go jump up a bridge when they were booing him come out of the game. But since Xhaka left, our midfield has not been the same. Xhaka, Odegaard, and Partey was the midfield. And I was talking to I went on a stream for my friend in England yesterday. I was on their stream after the game just to do the post-game analysis. And I'll say this. A lot of people in England big up Rice, and Rice is this and Rice is that, and he's great, and he's on the Ballon d'Or list, whatever. Please tell me, when you're assessing players, you assess their defensive capabilities and their offensive capabilities. Apart from his free kick, what does Rice do really well going forward? What does he do really well? Can he beat a man? Can he make an incisive pass? Is his awareness what he's supposed to be? Because we talk about him like he's that in England, talk about he should be the captain of Arsenal, the greatest thing. He's a good footballer. There's no exception about him. There isn't. Let me take some comments first before I finish off the rest of the games. Owen says, never experienced covert racism, Cranks. I don't know. Sometimes, look, I don't like to play the race card, Owen. Sometimes you incorporate and things happen and you just like wonder. But I don't like to play the race card. I've always believed in, here's one thing I learned. I used to have a mentor in public when I was working at Deloitte, right? And she would say to me, kill them with excellence. So always invested in myself to say, you know what? I don't care. And I've seen people gravitate towards her because she was excellent. She's actually Jamaican too. So we had that in common. Still one of my good friends. She's on board of one of the major corporations. I won't mention which one. I'll call her name either. I won't embarrass her, given what I say on YouTube a lot of times. But she made it sold me. But, she was one of my mentors. And she would say a couple of things, which is kill them with excellence. So invest in yourself, spend time learning your craft. Make sure that you're an expert in something. So if you're in a certain discipline, make sure you understand discipline and you're an expert in it. And I took those life lessons and leveraged them. And I watched how people gravitate towards her and fawned over her because she was excellent. They may not have liked her, but they like what she produced. They like her outcomes. So I took that with me. So I realized that even in those environments where people may not be supportive of you and may be racist, the respect sometimes supersedes that racism. It may sound strange, but it does. And it's because everybody wants good outcome. And even managers who may not like you, if you produce, they're going to look good. So we shouldn't always just play the card, even though it may be a card we're not being dealt well. Just be excellent at what you do. Be surprised that it works out well. Claudine says, Cranky, be grateful that God is merciful. As for the race thing, it's people who feel inferior in order to make themselves feel better. They look down. Yeah, that is true. And that's how the definition of racism. And I'm not going to have the God discussion today, Claudine. But I saw you yesterday, Claudine. Boy, Claudine, you remind me of Claudine. All the women I've talked to about God. So whether I've had significant others or my sister or others, or my mentee I have a mentee came in a few weeks ago from London, brilliant person. She's thinking about coming to the US to go to Columbia or Stanford, one of those schools. And she did really well. She worked at one of my old firm. We were having a conversation. She wasn't having a conversation. She lost her mind. She reminded Claudine. So Claudine reminded me of those individuals. They don't want to have the conversation. They are gone. They are believers. They're gone. They don't want to have it. And I respect their space. I'm gonna leave their space. But I think the lack of inquisitiveness, the lack of being inquisitive to me is not the best quality. I'm gonna be honest with that. And I'm saying that out loud. I think if you believe in the Almighty, as a lot of people do, especially in Jamaica, which I find really contradictory and interesting, is if you believe in that, then that means he made you to be inquisitive. So why wouldn't you be? Right? Why wouldn't you be? Any question I ask, that means he knows what question I'm going to be asking. You join me on August 31st. I'm going to love this conversation with Pastor. 3:30 p.m. on a Sunday, right after you finish eating your Sunday dinner. Well, before you eat your Sunday dinner, eat your brunch first. We can have the conversation. Oh, and then say, Cranky, wait, say, Cranky, the creator is real. Okay. Please show me the evidence. Eagle Republic says, Cranky, injuries, Blake. I'm not talking any Reggae Boys, people. I deliberately. I know if I put Reggae Boys on my thing, people are going to gravitate towards my thing. But I'm trying to build my channel differently. I'm trying to stay away from Reggae Boys. Because I know I'll get 200 people in the chat and it'll be great. But I don't operate that way. We have to function without Reggae Boys. Reggae Boys alone can't drive the engine. Then it doesn't make sense. And I know I know the injuries and I know people not playing, the whole gate being released. Hayden being released, a lot of people being released, people. It's bad. Lambert Casey don't have no team. Antonio don't have no team. But I decided not to talk about it. If end of the show we talk about it, yeah, but I'm not talking about it. Not yet. Let me finish off the EPL and then talk some track and field. Chelsea, Crystal Palace, watch that game. I think Eze is going to go to Tottenham. He looked good. The same Chelsea that won the Club World Cup, they may be tired, actually. They didn't look that hot. They look ordinary. They're a very young team. They're going to be up and down all year, actually. Still think they're going to make the top four. Forest, Brentford. Forest looked good. Morgan Gibbs-White looked really, really good. Really, really good, actually. And maybe he's glad he didn't go to Tottenham, even though I think he'd been very effective there. And I heard people talking about, I heard Simon Jordan talking about, Marinakis bought him up. It's a Jamaican term, which is put pressure on him. Maybe his agent did a poor job. I would have gone to Tottenham if I was him. Unless they're going to give me Tottenham money and Tottenham Champions League, I'm going to Tottenham. But he stayed. He's the star player. Is he the captain? I think he's the captain also. So it's his team. He run the show. What else I have here? And then we go to the game yesterday between Arsenal and Manchester United. If I was a Man U fan, I would be optimistic. I'm doing playing cranky. Are you 21 though? You played today. Yeah, he's not under 21. He's a Premier player. Yeah. Claudine said, Cranky, every time I see a brand new day or hear from Born Crystal, he's somebody's greatness. Okay, I hear you, Claudine. You obviously grew up in Jamaica and be influenced a certain way. You and I probably grew up in similar households, but just went in different direction. It's amazing how the men listen to me, Claudine, but the women don't. It's amazing how many men want to have the conversation, but most of the women don't have a conversation. Men and women are so different. But anyway, the Man U Arsenal game. Man, I have never watched an Arsenal game in the last couple of years and felt like, well, first of all, I don't know how we won that game. We were awful. Awful. Their keeper made a mistake we score a set piece as we normally do. We didn't score a lot late in the season last year because Gabriel was out. But we were beyond awful. We made Man U look like they were PSG, frankly. And I said it on my stream. Arsenal attacking prowess. What? Yeah, I know you're being facetious, Max City, but we were awful. Unbelievably awful. And the problem that we have is this. Everybody's cussing Martinelli, which I did yesterday. And Gokares, who didn't play well, it looked like he just was playing the championship. But the ball has to get to those players. Right? The midfield was awful. Awful. Zimmerman did okay, but he's not Partey. And what I find interesting, that's why I tell players, Don't give a hoot about no fan or no club. Take care of yourself and your family. Nobody talks about Partey anymore. Partey is better than Zubimendi. I don't care what people want to tell me. I've watched Partey for years, and I watched Zubimendi not long, but enough. Partey's a better player. Partey can play a single pivot. Zubimendi going to struggle to play a single pivot in the Premier League. You have to cover a lot of ground. He's good on the ball. He has vision. He ain't no single pivot player. So that's going to be interesting how that works out. Declan Rice was beyond awful. Awful. Declan is an English player who is overrated. Good player. Has a lot of good attributes, especially defensively. He started as a center half. Offensively, he has a good shot on him, but man, he lacks creativity. It's bad. That's why I wanted Eze. And Odegaard, I don't know what to do about Martin Odegaard. He's the captain. For last season, he was horrible, even though he had some injuries. And he started off preseason and now the same way. He didn't play a ton in preseason, but he's not creating anything. Put the ball between people's legs and go nowhere. Yesterday, he's trying some passes which weren't coming off and he keeps doing it. And I keep telling people, we don't have any dynamic players in our team. None. We don't have one dynamic player. Maybe in one area a little bit, actually. Maybe in one area. And the 15-year-old. Rest of them are not dynamic. Saka is not dynamic. He's a good player, got good skills, extremely smart, not dynamic. I thought we were going to go for Rafael Leao from Milan. And even though he's unpredictable, we need some unpredictability in our team. We don't have any. And Martinelli, he's been out to sea. He lost. Both left him out there. Not working. We were, and the worst thing about yesterday was this. Here's the worst thing, people. Let me just take some comment before I say the worst thing. Man U versus Stoke. We're trying to well, Stoke won. You know what? Something. If we had lost as we played better, you guys would beat me and say, "Yeah, you say you play better. How can you lose if you play better? You can't win. Can't win with you. Bless up jargons. Can't win with you guys. Can't win with you." People hit the like button. Half of you haven't hit the like button yet, but more than half. Jura says we will be a good team that will get results. We just have 3 competitions to focus on. You have 1 competition and 2 cup thing. You don't play Europa League, you don't play Champions League. You have 3 competition. A cup competition is a knockout. You don't know what you have 3 competition focus on. Man U fans now feeling optimistic after yesterday's game. We were awful. I wouldn't get too optimistic. Don't use Arsenal as a benchmark. Yeah, Odegaard looks overrated over the last year and something. Let's see if he improved, but he's overrated. He can't shoot. He got clear time to shoot. Anyone there needs to get more game time. Eagle Republic says, cranky. Up in Jamaica, church in Jamaica, because my mom was a deacon. However, after 8 years in the military, because of deployment, I now have a very complicated relationship with God. I can understand Eagle Republic. I was in the military too. I can understand. There's so much contradiction in the world. And I can't wait. People, please join me on next week, Sunday, when Pastor is on. Because if a pastor say, go and explain all them things to me, I mean, I'm a willing student. Want him to explain. That money, of course, well, Leao probably cost about 100 million. And Milan don't want to sell him, but still. Madueke was not the buy. I don't know what. People keep talking about how Bertha has done really well. Really? Really? First of all, he got a lot of money to spend. Who has he bought? He bought Madueke. Fans didn't want him. I'm not going to knock the kid. I think he'll come okay. He bought Gokares. Yesterday, he looked like a League One player. Hopefully, he improves. I think he'll score a lot of goals, but he looked like a League One player. That's 2. Zubimendi was bought before he came. I don't see who he bought. He bought Mascara, who is supposed to be good, but I don't see who he bought to be getting all this praise. And the one, let me ask you guys a question. Given all the acquisitions been made, what's the one group of people who have got no praise to date who should get some praise? Let me see if you guys are thinking like I am. When Pasta goes into Jesus, I may never be prepared for Pasta, but I'm gonna use logic. DJ, the Bible has been challenged throughout history, but it has stand the test of time, and I've seen God in my life. I'm a living witness. So, if people don't get me in trouble, this program is going to go into a religious program tonight, When Claudia made them statement, I can't help myself, but I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave that alone. Real Bala said, cranky. Mind the Arsenal heads them ban, very sensitive people. No, we were beyond awful. The ones that people should get some praise, who haven't got no praise from no fan, is the Crankies. They've been spending a lot of money. A lot of money. They get no praise. Nobody even mentioned them. I mean, anybody mentioned them. All they mention is Bertha, like Bertha having any money to spend. Bertha go buy Eze, he went and bought Madueke. Eze cost about 10 million more. I don't know what the hell that's about. Eze could play the 8. Madueke gonna play backup Saka. We can put Martinelli over there to go back him up. I don't know why. We need some creativity. We have nothing. If you're going up against a low block, you can beat the low block in a number of ways, right? You can beat the low block by passing through it. You can beat the low block by going over the top. Passing through it doesn't really work for low block as much as people think it does if you're really compact. You go over the top, depending on how good their defenders are and heading the ball. And 3 is you can beat people. And if you're skillful like Eze, you can go to that low block. And we need to do that because we dominate possession. Yesterday, we were at C. And the worst thing about yesterday was this. I'm going to leave Arsenal after this. Arteta is an awful game manager. And I've said this, Arteta reminds me of the Jamaica Reggae Boys coach. When you're in the game and you need to change something, they are lost at sea. Well, I'm not talking about the Reggae Boys coach, because I'm lost at sea, period. Arteta may be good on the training pitch, good at help with develop the players, giving the necessary attributes and things they need to do really well. That's very obvious. Go watch his game management. Yesterday, Man U playing 3-4-3. He changed nothing, even though we're getting killed. Midfield overloaded. He made Casemiro look like the old Casemiro at Real Madrid when they were winning the Champions League. Huh? Fernandes, who came play deep, had no pressure yesterday. Right? Because he wasn't playing the 10. Now, Cunha and Mbeumo, we know are good players. The left wing back looked like, who hit the upright, what's his name, Dorku? He looked like a world beater. We made them look great. We made the defense look great because we tried to force the ball into Gyökeres, and all they did was to do was butter him up. And the referee was beyond awful. I don't like to talk about referees. He was horrible. Same play, similar to the circumstances. He calls fouls on us, doesn't call foul on Man U. Gyökeres being fouled all game, not getting calls. As soon as you touch one of the Man U players, they get a call. The referee was beyond awful. Don't know why. Maybe he just, I don't think he was just poor. I think he was biased. I'm sorry. He was biased. Ridiculous in terms of how he officiated the game. And go back and watch the tape, because I know some Man U fans are going to complain here. Everyone's fans whining again. We won the game. There's nothing to whine about. Some people say it should be a penalty when Saliba tackled Cunha. I think it's 50-50. But the referee was awful. Zabav says, why am I saying I love it? We know the wind exists, right? Yeah, we know it exists. We can feel it. Yeah. Yeah, we know it's wind. And you can explain wind. You can explain where the wind come from. You can explain the wind. You can explain lightning. You can explain the clouds. You have evidence for those things. I don't know what you guys are trying to say. What are you trying to say? Antonio playing at a high level. Maybe under 21s. All right, whatever. Max said, Arteta is indeed very poor with his game management. Only the input I saw him was to try and tackle Sean. Yeah, he doesn't. He didn't change anything. You're getting killed. You need a for your coach. The changes he made were the standard changes. At least now he has a bench. Because if you notice, there are a few players. Norgard wasn't on the bench. Zinchenko wasn't on the bench. Who else was missing on the bench? The center half wasn't on the bench. So we have players who normally last year were on the bench, continuously are played. So we have a long bench this year. He has no excuse. Right? He has no excuse. I'm not sure why Miles Kelly was on the bench versus Calafiori, but I think they had interchange all year. I'm not a big Ben White fan. I think Ben White is not the answer. I know Timber's been injured and it hasn't played a lot of preseason. Ben White is not the answer. People rate Ben White. He maybe was decent at one point. Not anymore. He's lost it. Zara said he can feel the win. I'm glad you can feel the win. People, no one getting a religious discussion with me. Trust me. Okay? If you use example, me will give you that example. If you're going to use examples to substantiate and justify the existence of a omnipotent being, and I'm not saying I am an atheist. I've never said that. And I can give you examples of where, you know what? Go watch my video. Go watch my video. I gave the examples yesterday. Go watch my video, people. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. And like up the video too. Good evening, presser.
Yeah, might have to pray to God for win the Premier League title, so.
May have the yeah. People hit the like button, people. 35 likes on 63, 69 people. That's not good. So, Preston, what you have to say? You feel good about yesterday's game? You feel good about your team?
Yeah, I think it was an encouraging performance. I think the performance reminded me similar to that performance of the 3-1 loss to Arsenal last season. But in the first half, I believe United had some control in that game, but attacking wise, we didn't really do anything. And I think after the game, the manager did speak about that in terms of, us creating more chances. In this game, it was the same in some sense. However, I think we did create a little bit or tried a bit better in transition, especially in the final third with Mbeumo, who got, further up the pitch in comparison to that last game, right? But in terms of the overall control of the game, I think it was good. But, Arsenal was also poor as well. So, but it's the first game of the season, so I don't expect many teams to be at a full 100 in terms of how they play, I mean, City wasn't at their best, Liverpool wasn't at their best, but they still got the win, which is the most important thing.
City was dominant. So, and Reinders, the kid from Milan, looked really, really good. But they played Wolves, so.
In the first half, a couple 20 minutes or so, not Burnley.
Wolves.
Would have played Wolves, they were doing decent for a bit. But I'm just saying, no team is at their best at this moment. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
So it takes a couple games, at least more than 5 games to get up to full speed. But I want to talk about Odegaard and Ben White. I don't get the Odegaard and Ben White disrespect.
Okay.
How can you lose something when, he was injured for last season, most of the season, Ben White.
Ben White was injured most of the season, but Odegaard wasn't injured most of the season.
All right, but Odegaard was out for 3 months.
No, it wasn't 3 months. It wasn't 3 months. He was out, but it wasn't 3 months. Saka was out for 3 months. Havertz was out for 3 months, not Odegaard.
All right, listen. I was having a discussion with somebody recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, if you look at over the years, right, when Arsenal became good, they predominantly attacked down that right-hand side, right or wrong?
Yeah, we overload the right side. Ben White, Odegaard, Saka, Partey helping out. Yep.
All right, I like what you said that, right? So last season, though, Arsenal had Odegaard out for a period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Saka out for a good period of time, and Ben White also out for a good period of time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, this is the first. Last season was the first where Odegaard had an off season. I don't know if I could say Ben White had an off season because he had injuries, and then Timber was in the team over him, so he would have never been on form in a sense, even when he played. I don't remember Ben White even playing much last season.
He didn't play much. He was injured for a while. He had surgery.
So I'm just saying, I think when these players, with them being available now and games, coming and whatever the case is and more minutes in the tank, I think they will get up to speed. I mean, even Odegaard, for example, 3 goals, 8 assists last season in the Premier League. That's a bad season for Martin Odegaard, It's not excellent, but it's decent for somebody that was out.
Say it again.
3 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League.
Okay.
Mind you, he was out injured. This is an Arsenal team that didn't have Saka on that right-hand side. As bad as people want to bash Kai Havertz, still a good contributor of the team on occasions, right? He wouldn't have been in the team as the number 9. And also Ben White would have been a huge contributor to Arsenal down that right-hand side over the years. He was also unavailable due to injuries, right?
I have a question for you. Would you take Havertz in your team?
No, the conversation is about Odegaard.
No. You just mentioned Havertz have a good bet. I'm gonna go to.
No,
Odegaard.
I wouldn't take him in my team, but I'm just saying.
Would you take Odegaard over Bruno? You both play 10. Even though Bruno dropping back now.
Not really, but
okay, keep going.
But all I'm saying,
you finished 15th last season?
I think Odegaard and Ben White are quality players. When I look at Martin Odegaard, I don't look at Martin Odegaard as a sole number 10 in terms of like a Ozil and KDB and some of those guys, right? I don't think that's his profile, but he still can create. He still can do it on both
Odegaard
sides.
Odegaard or Eze?
Odegaard.
You take Odegaard over Eze?
The thing is, we cannot
you take Odegaard over Eze?
Yes.
Why?
Let me tell you. We cannot talk about football with recency bias. Eberechi Eze was in no conversation in terms of the same caliber as Martin Odegaard 2 seasons ago. One bad season, one mediocre season for Martin Odegaard doesn't put him a level below Ebrick Eze, who had a wonderful season last season. Football doesn't work that way.
This other guy, what, fourth year with Arsenal? His first season, he wasn't overly great, and we bowed him.
Okay, but
his second season, he was great. His third season, he was awful.
But when he came to Arsenal, I think it was on loan the first occasion, right? Remember,
yes, he was on loan. He was on loan. Yes, he was on loan.
He went to Real Madrid very early, didn't work out, bounced around a couple teams, found himself at Real Sociedad. I think, when did he come on loan? When he was at Real Sociedad or before?
No, he got to Real Sociedad first, and he came to us.
On loan?
Yeah. He went there on loan first, then he went back to Real Madrid, and he came to us on loan. Then he went back, and we bought him. Here's the thing you're missing, Presser, which is this. What the guy's a good player. He's a good player, but he's not as effective as he needs to be.
But listen, remember when he just got Arsenal, you guys were struggling, Even Ceballos and those guys weren't there. Not to say that Ceballos is an amazing player, but I'm just saying he wasn't at a good time. But
no, he came. Arsenal, didn't we? Yeah, we had Ceballos was awful.
Cranky, when other guy just went to Arsenal, you guys were figuring out yourselves.
Yes. Hey, look, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but he's not. We're talking about outcomes in football. We're talking about outcomes. Look at Bruno's stats. You don't want to compare Odegaard's stats with Bruno's stats? Look at Bruno's stats. And I'm not the biggest Bruno fan because he whines too much. But look at Bruno's stats versus Odegaard's stats. They're not comparable. You're playing a 10 against a team that's come second 3 years in a row. Your stats should be off the chart.
But Odegaard doesn't play as a 10.
Yes, he plays a 10, a pseudo 10.
I see him play more advanced than Rice, but I don't think he's a 10.
No, he's a 10. He's a 10. He's always on the right in the corner with Saka. He's a 10, but he's not the traditional 10. He don't play across the front line. He plays on the right side. He's not playing like De Bruyne, that play come from deep.
Okay,
he's
so
playing
he plays more on the right-hand side, right? Again.
Yeah, he plays on the right-hand side.
This might not be an Odegaard issue,
It's a strategy. It's a strategy.
Yes, that's what I was going to say in the sense of if he's playing more of the right-hand side, right?
Yeah.
His duty is to link up more with Saka in some sense than being central and, linking up with the left-hand side and the striker as the number 9. Because again, over the years, when Arsenal would have been at their best, is down that right-hand side through the intricate plays of Ben White, Odegaard, Partey, and Bukayo Saka. That is where the strength of Arsenal was. So maybe it's an issue in terms of, as you say, strategy, in terms of how Mikel Arteta wants them to play. Because I think at one time, when Arsenal just started to challenge for the league, Odegaard was still on the right-hand side, but I used to see him very central. And I think that season, Kankim used to say, we make Odegaard not shoot more. A lot of times you get goal scoring opportunities, but more pass, Yeah. I'm not saying he needs to shoot because he can score from these range, but instead him up for a pass. So I think it's a make or break season for him in a sense this season. Some I could show him this still, but I still think he's a quality player. And
Nwaneri scored about 7 goals last year, right?
Who?
Nwaneri. I think he scored in our competition. He scored about 7-8 goals last year. He didn't play that much. That's the point. When he played for that left foot, in fact, his left foot is better than Saka's left foot.
But where does Nwaneri play in this team now?
He plays where Odegaard's play. Same place Odegaard plays where he plays. And the reason why I don't get Eze, my understanding is that because they committed to Nwaneri get more game time. So, sign his contract, even though his dad denies it. But I think that's probably.
I think he's a quality player still. So
Nwaneri is a good player. He's a good player.
One thing I will say about Arsenal in recent years, I think Arsenal and City, in terms of youngsters, I think they embed them into the team properly in comparison to other teams. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't think they throw them in there like straight away in some sense.
Yeah, more recently, people says Arteta play youngsters, but he didn't at one point. He only played youngsters come last year. That's why people like Omari left. When I hear people on AVTV talk, they don't know what they're talking about.
But listen, you can't rush the youngsters them. So Omari
but I'm just saying he wasn't playing youngsters at all. You would have him on the bench and don't give him any game time. That's why some of them left. That's why Haven left. That's why Omari left. That's why Martin left. Right? You guys got 12 of the youngsters. He wasn't playing them. Last day he played Lewis Kelly, who was on the bench. Because he went to City, we had nobody else. He played him, and the kid played well, and he kept him in. Nwaneri, he played him first to make him the youngest player because Nwaneri he didn't want to leave like Omari. So they give him game time to them. There's a pathway. Let's not say he plays them because they XYZ. You see them in training, but he wasn't playing them. And people will have this narrative about, remember he had Saliba go back to France to go play an extra year, say he wasn't good enough when he played Young Player of the Year in France?
Let me tell you, frankly, as a fan, I'm decided. When I go say no, I've made a decision this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, I'm a bit more reserved now in terms of my assessment. I just trust the experts then,
You should be. You're a Man U fan. You should be more reserved.
Because guess what?
I'm not good. You're right. But anyway, keep going.
Mikel Arteta is the one that would have seen Saliba. He sent him out and he came back good. So how can somebody go against that?
But fine. You know what? It worked out. So wait. Let me say this. We bought him 2 years before that. That means somebody saw the potential in him. He went to France and he dominated. He's playing against the PSG of the world and playing extremely well. I'm not buying Arteta's nonsense. We barely kept him because the kid was upset. You can't come in right away and be an outstanding player unless you were good before you came in. It's nonsense.
But other than that, still, I want to say big up to Kishane Thompson. I
will be talking about that. Don't talk about it yet. I won't talk about that. That's the next topic. After you're done, I'm going right into it.
Honorable mention, big up Brian Lepel.
Yes, Brian Lepel needs his flowers. Yes, he needs his flowers. He needs his flowers. So we're going to jump into track and field. All right? Yeah, man. Bless up. Thanks. All right, people, we're going to transition from football to track and field. And I'm a very big track and field fan. Most people think I just talk football. I talk most sports. I do talk track and field. I don't talk any cricket because we're not good anymore. So I'm not talking cricket. I haven't talked any basketball yet, but I've been getting requests for us to talk about the Jamaica basketball team, who are now trying to get more NBA players in. I know Norman Powell's been playing for the team and playing really well. And I think they qualified to go to the next round. And they beat a couple of teams. They beat Barbados, which is not the best team. And then we beat Costa Rica, who was a halfway decent team. And Powell played really well. But I don't think NBA players can play when they play in November. So we'll see how that works out. I know the Thompson twins have expressed an interest, but FIBA has their rules. So we'll have to spend some time doing my research and come back and talk more about that. I want to talk more informed about it versus just talking at the top of my head. Now, I did watch the Silesia Diamond League this weekend. I was pleased and displeased about certain things that transpired. So I'm going to go through the list of events that transpired. Now, the big event in that meet was the rematch between Kishane and Noah. No Civil was there. Bednark was there. Simbini was there. Toboga wasn't there. A few runners weren't there, but most of the big players were there, right? But I'll go through the list of events and then talk about some of them. And I'll save the race for a little bit later, talk about it, my perspective on the race, what worked, what didn't work for me. But here is if we go through the events pretty quickly, the first one is what I have here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. The 3,000 meters, and Fate continues to do what she must have faith, Claudine. So she was a good. Kipyegon has been dominant, almost at a world record. But I don't know how you can run that quickly. Running 60. What's your run for the last lap? 63, 64? After you run so fast, don't understand that, but brilliant runner. Kelly came back after being out injured. Hodgkinson, and obviously from the UK, and they boots her up 800 meters. She won real easily, ran a really good time, world leading time. It's gonna be interesting. What's her name from the US didn't make it. She tripped, so we'll see how that works out. But decent race. Not spend a lot of time on that either. We'll go to some of my Warham, Karsten, dominant as usual, won real easily. I thought Rushan would have done better, actually. I thought Rushan Clark would have done better. But still have some time before the World Championship. Hopefully can improve his time and do better. He's didn't run his best race, actually. Didn't run his best race. And Warham was extremely dominant. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I'm going to come back to the men's 100 meters because I have a lot to talk about that. In the women's 400-meter hurdles, Fenke Bowl does what Fenke Bowl does. And now she doesn't have the unicorn anymore, so who's running the flat 4? She should win that race easily. Sian Salmon didn't do that hot. But Fenke Bowl is probably going to win because she doesn't have the unicorn to run against anymore. Unicorn trying something different. She dominated too much. She may have, what's her name though? Is her name Matt Donald from the US? Who used to be the champion? We'll see how that works out. Women's final of the women's hurdles. So they had 2 heats and then the finals for the women's hurdles. I'm surprised Megan Tapker didn't run well. I think she came third in her first heat, and she's been running well all season. She won at trials. A little bit surprised. That she ran down the track in this race, actually. Messiah Russell looked really, really good. Won in a meet record run, 12:19. Really, really good time. Daniel Williams, who has been around for a while, who was won the World Championship last time. Was it World Championship won or Olympics? Maybe confusing them. She came fourth, which is good. Toby came third. Tonya Marshall ran well. So it was a good race. I'm surprised Akira Nugent also do poorly. And I'm wondering if Akira struggled with the rounds because they're not a round. She won the first heat, but then she ran on the track like Megan Tapper. So I'm not sure if people are just trying to check where they are in terms of the race. I'm not sure you can take anything out of it, but a little bit surprised that those two didn't do better. A little bit surprised. Then we go to women's 400. I thought this was a really good race. Nasser did what she normally does. She go out front trying to hold on. She ran really well. Paulino timed her brilliantly and caught her just before the finish line to win that race. And they will have a doozy at the World Championship. Nasser, who, as you know, had a drug ban, has come back really, really strong. But Paulino is running really, really well. So it should be a ding-dong race. Then the unicorn is going to be in this. So it's a different thing. We'll see if Paulino can beat the unicorn. And you guys should know I'm talking about who's the unicorn. And then we had a women's 200. Shericka Jackson ran a really brilliant curve and held on to win. Still nowhere was where she was when she was running in the below 22s. Brittany Brown came second, pressed her in the stretch, and Favor came third. I'm not sure what's happening with Shericka, but she's not where she was actually. She don't look comfortable. Shericka started as a 400-meter runner, so nobody should be running her down on a 200, right? If she go out in front, she should be staying in front and pulling away, and that's not happening. So I'm not sure what is happening to Shericka, but I'm not too optimistic about her at the World Championship. At 100, maybe more than 200, maybe a third if she's lucky, but she's going to be hard to come first or second given the two, Melissa and the Olympic champion. It's going to be tough for her to come in the top two. Jackson's still rusty. She's beyond rusty. Then we have the women's 100. I'm going to go back to the men's. Now, in the women's 100, Jamaica has a problem, people. Jamaica's best run in the 100 is not going to the World Championship in an individual event. That's Tia Clayton. Tia ran 1082. Melissa Jefferson is out there by herself. The only person can compete with her is the St. Lucian. I don't think anyone else can. But Tia is running extremely good. Obviously, she pulled up at the trials. I'm not sure what transpired there because she came back pretty quickly after that. And she's running better than her sister. If you're watching champs from way back when, Tina was the better of the two, But Tia has come on leaps and bounds. And Marie Toulouse, who struggles in big championship, has been running well. She won a meet, the week before? And she came third here and ran well. But Melissa was just out in front and it's not even close. Melissa's made a big jump. If it was a Jamaican who made a jump that Melissa did, people talking about her taking drugs because her jump between last year coming third in the Olympics and now has been huge, right? But she's running really well. Tia has to be on the relay team because she's Jamaica's best 100-meter runner right now, right? Shelly's doing her swan song. Jackson doesn't look as fit as she normally does. And Tina is running really well and ran well in that race. She ran 1087. I mean, what she won? 1091. But Tia looked really, really good. And I think when all is said and done, the Clayton twins, who are still very young, will be carrying the flag for a while. Now let's go to the main event, the men's 100 meters. Let me go back. Now, as everyone knows, Kishane and Noah ran the same time at the Olympics, which was 979 extended to 4 decimal places or 3 decimal places, and Kishane lost the race by a whisker. And I still see problem with Kishane's race. Now, as many of you know who follow my channel, I did interview Leighton Levy talking about, and he and I talked about how Kishane is he's not smooth at the end of his race. He's all over the place at the end of his race, especially when under pressure, all over the place, right? He's wobbling. The form is not there. You know, his start is ridiculous. If you go back and watch that race, which I did a couple times today, in the first 10 meters, he's a step or two ahead of Noah and ahead of Benderek. Like, he's out. It's not like he got out and he got way in front of him. He got out, but his first 10 steps, he's way out in front of them. But then when you pass the 50, go to 60 and 70, in the last 50 meters, he's just all over the place. But then you see Noah start gaining on him. And my concern about Kishane is this. Noah is a very confident runner, extremely confident runner, because he's proven. Noah's 200-meter ability allows him to maintain where he is throughout the race, doesn't decelerate as fast as everybody else. And he almost beat, if he was 5 more meters, the race is not 5 more meters, he would have beaten Kishane in that race. Now, Kishane won, and Noah did all the crap. But if you look, if I can pull up some, I can't play the video because last time I did YouTube, some copyrights. I can't do it no more. Can't do it no more. But I had some. So this is Kishane. Look at the race. Look where Noah is, people. See that? Kishane is ahead right there. The runner outside, I think was that Simbini? Can't remember if it's Simbini or not. Simbini has been very disappointing. See where they are the race, people? Noah is ahead. Kishane is ahead. If you look at the line, I think it was about the 50 right there. He's ahead comfortably. Look where Noah is, and look where Benderek is. Right? Both 200-meter runners. So he's gone, basically. And you go further in the race, we're close to the finish line. Look where Noah is. Cutting him down. So if they had about 3 more steps, it's all over. Now, he won. Noah ran 9.9. He ran 9.87. But his coach got to clean up his race. Mills got to clean up his race. Not Mills. What's his name? His coach. He's got to clean up his race at the end of the race. Got to clean him up. You got to get comfortable with pressure. You got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Now, Levy believes, and you know what I should do? I should play the interview. So you can find it. I should play the interview. I think I have another one that finished. Play this again. I should play the interview. This was far from the finish line, right? You see them? So we go there. This was further back. And then we go here. Now he's just gaining and gaining. Do I believe GOAT? I think, it's too young. It's too early for us to tell about GOAT, actually. Too early for us to tell. I'll play the interview because I think now I've said something which was really interesting. So I'm going to play this interview.
Second place today, how was it?
It was a good race. Of course, I won it first. But all in all, it was a good race. It's a season's best. This close to running 980, which is crazy for my third 100 of the year. I'm in a really good position.
First time under 10 this year. What does that do for your confidence?
It's just huge. It's exactly what we want to see. Of course, I'd like to see like a little faster, but again, 990. I beat the people I needed to beat. Of course, Kishane is one of those people where if he beats me, I'm not going to be sulking around. He's a great competitor. He's a very fast man, so I still feel like he's in my pocket. Next time we race, I'll have something even better.
Kishane Thompson, congratulations with the win. You're the fastest man this year, and you're the fastest man today. How was it?
It wasn't so bad of a race. I love the competition, honestly. Today, I'm getting closer and closer to what I want to see each time. Higher the competition, we're going to get better and better. Because we want that. We want when the competition is high to its pinnacle, we can perform and execute to our pinnacle, to even draw out more of our potential. That's the aim.
Yeah, today you competed with Bednarek and Lyles. How important is it for you to win against them?
Honestly, it's me against myself. Naturally, they're going to add to the flame and the competition. That adds so much volume to the field and what we're potential of doing out there. But that adds to my potential of even going faster. So, end of the day, it's me against me.
Noah Lyles told me that the next time he's going to have you in his pocket. What is your reply to that?
Well, my pocket's going to be so far ahead, so Let's see.
So Noah trying a psychological battle with Kishane. I think both of them have something to worry about. Now, Kishane, when I interviewed Levy the other day, Levy thought that of all the runners there, he favors Oblique Seville, and I can see why. Because as Noah said, this was his third race, right? He's only going to get better between now and the World Championship. He's going to peak there. I'll come close to peaking. So it's important for these runners who've been running for a while to also get themselves in a position, not be fearful of Noah. Now, what I noticed about Oblique Seville, when he ran in London, Noah didn't gain on him one step. In fact, it was the opposite. It was either even or he was pulling away. When he got up with Noah, he was pulling away from Noah for the entire race. But Noah always gained on Kishane because Kishane struggles. He struggles in the last part of his race. 15 meters, he struggles. He's all over the place. The form is out the window. His start is good. The different phases are good. His acceleration is good. When he comes close to the last 10, 15 meters, the form goes out the door. Right? And that's not good. That means you're feeling the pressure. That's not good. When I did talk to Levy, he mentioned about Oblique has some either physical or mental issue into the running the rounds. I forgot how he described it, and I have it someplace actually, which then becomes a challenge for Oblique. If you can get to the round and get to the finals in a good place, and Kishane seems to beat Oblique real easily every time they run. Even though in Jamaica, I must say this, Oblique ran what, 982? And given all the problems he was having and what he was going through, he started off slow. He normally has a brilliant start, and he still ran 982. Now, he doesn't go in the 9.7s like Kishane does. And Kishane is the only one who's run 9.75 this year. And Kishane is like, 15 on the depth chart? Here's a list of the people, the best times in the history of the 100 meters. So Usain has the 3 best times, tied with Tyson at 9.69 and with Blake at 9.69. But as you can see, these are the people, right? Asaf has a couple. Gatlin has a few. That's 3. Kishane is in that mix. Noah doesn't run on the 9. Noah doesn't run on the 9. He ran what? 9. What was the last time he ran? 9.8 something? The last race he ran was 9.9. But even at the Olympics, he didn't run on 9.75. I don't think 9.75. Given Noah's start, it's hard for him to run 9.75. Given his lack of a really good start, unless he try to pick the gun, it's gonna be hard for him to do so. But Kishane, if everybody run at their best, Kishane will win the race, in my view. Even though I think Oblique is getting better and better, and has come fourth in the last 2 championships, so he has to, except for the Olympics when he ran on the track, he has to find a way to overcome that. Apparently Kishane is battling shin splints. Yeah, not good. I think someone mentioned before Stephen Francis is coach. Yeah, you're right. Oblique is coached by Mills, who coached both, right? So yeah. I said the track. No. That's the one thing I never did. I never did track. And the reason why I don't track is this: I have to run after something. I can't just run out in space. But I'm a big track fan actually. But I didn't run track. I have to run after something. I can't just run for run's sake. So if it's not a ball or some other stuff that Jamaica might never run after, I can't do that. Can't do that. I always wanted to tell people ran. I'm just like, no, not at all. Even though when you get a little bit seasoned like me now, this morning I got up like at 7 something. I did my 3-mile walk. I work out in the gym for about an hour and a half. It felt good. Time I look around, it's 11 o'clock. So I got to figure out how to work that, give my schedule. I think I said that to my nephew. I think I'm much more busier now than I was when I was in corporate, which may sound weird, but it's true. Because corporate, you get up at 5, you get to work by 7:30, you leave work by 6, 7. But it was standard like, now I'm juggling like 10 different things. Then I want to what are those things I'm doing now that I wasn't doing then? But I wasn't doing YouTube, which takes a lot of time. That's why you people like me and Gunners ask to get likes, because you guys have no idea how much time these things take to put these things together. But looking at the list here, look at Jamaica flag is on the list, people. It's only Jamaica and US on the list, now. In the men's, for the top 15 best time of all time, only Jamaica and US men are on this list. Jamaica has what? 3, 4 and 3, 7, 10 up to 15. Then Gatlin has 3 and the remaining 2 maybe Tyson Gay. That says a lot for a country with 6 million people. I know somebody's going to say 3 is not 3, 6 million people. That says a lot, people. But it's I'm looking forward to the World Championship. I will be doing watch along for the World Championship. Just got to be doing watch along for the Reggae Boys World Cup qualifiers. I've been asked if I'm going to Jamaica a lot of times. I don't think I'm going. I don't like to fly, as I've said before. I was down there for the last one. I don't think I'm going to fly down though. But I would be if I don't go down, I'm going to do it remotely actually. 10 minutes workout every day is better than 1 hour once. No, I would agree with that. But I don't do. I'm trying to do daily. I have this 2-a-day program, but I can't get there twice a day, so I try to combine them in one day. Works out to be about an hour and a half where I work, and that's not including ellipticals. If you walk 3 miles and you do I do 18-minute mile, it's almost an hour actually. No, it's probably more 19-minute mile because I'm not really running. Yeah, something like that. I'm walking at a leisurely pace. I'll probably walk more briskly actually. Probably bringing that to 15-minute mile, but I'm not there yet. But yeah, frequency of working out is much better gigs than doing one big workout. You're informed by your doctor. You should try to get 30 minutes in, 150 minutes a week. So 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 150 minutes. But right now I'm doing more than that actually, or I try to do more than that. To keep when you're retired, you have to try to keep your seasoned bones active, which I try to do. But I am looking forward to the World Championship. I think Jamaica will do better than the Olympics. I'm looking forward to see. Here's what race I'm looking forward to. Even more than 100, actually. No, well, it's not true. I'm looking forward to 100 because I want to see what Kishane and Seville does versus Bednarek and Lyles, right? But I'm also looking forward to the men's 200 because I'm very encouraged by Level's performance and how well he's running. Very encouraged by Level's performance, especially how he's done what 982. When you're running 982, that's ridiculous. That's big time, for someone who has been injured and has now this year's his breakout year. Basically, was very good at champs in 22, right? But this is breakout year and running extremely well, and running what 1969 was a good year. Is it going to be interesting to see how that works out? You want to see the 4x1? The 4x1 should be really good. They did qualify with Oblique running the black stretch. I assume we'll get Level on the team, and he would run the curve because he run the 200 curve, and Thompson. So we have Blake to Oblique to Level to Thompson, but they have to practice bat and change because you could be as fast as you want to be. Your changeovers aren't good, and we weren't good on the last leg, the last race. We need to be good with our changeovers. I think we can win that race. US is going to be tough with Lyle and Bednarek and those runners, but I think we have a chance to win because we'll have 3 of the fastest men in the world in that race. And Blake is no slow cheater, so we have a good chance to win the 4x1 if we practice the bat and change. Anybody run their best. If both teams run their best and we practice bat and change really well, we can win that. And we can also win the men's 100. We should place in the men's 200. Bednarek going to be tough, along with Lyle. With Level, probably his first really big meet, runs well. We should be okay. I don't expect us to place in the women. Top 2, we have a chance to get 3rd. Talou running well, but she chokes in big meets. So we have Tina, we have Shericka. I don't expect Shelly to place. She may not even make the final, frankly. She should make the final, but it's going to be tough for her. And the women's 200 has to be Shericka, a bust. So it should be an interesting World Championship for us. Really interesting World Championship. I saw what's his name, was in the shot put. Campbell was in shot put, but Will he be throwing for Turkey or Jamaica in that? Does he transition over yet? It'll be interesting to see how that works. He had Jamaica designation in this meet, so we'll see how that works out. So that was my thing on the recap of the Diamond League, Silesia Diamond League. I'm very pleased with how Jamaica competed. I think the disappointment was in the men with Bennett hurdles, where Holloway lost, and then also in the women's hurdles, where Tapper and Nugent didn't run well at all. I'm just hoping that people just didn't take it serious, but there are points to be gained in terms of Diamond League points, so we'll see what happens. So if it's all about body building up, his body holding up. If his body holds up through the rounds, we will get 1-2. Mill has him in Europe a lot this year compared to her. I think Kishane and Oblique needs to run against really good competition and run rounds to allow them to simulate what happens in this championship. Even better prepared. Noah loves the big race. All right? He's been there, done that. He loves the big race. People talk about the Olympics and what happened with him. He loves the big race. So hopefully, they will get the race experience, which is what Kishane alluded to allow them not to be intimidated by the moment and can run really well. But I expect them to. I'm going to close out the program by talk a little bit about the Reggae Boys, just a little bit. I didn't plan to do any talking about it, but I have a little bit of time, so I'm going to do about 5-10 minutes by saying this. I'm not happy about what I'm seeing with some of the more senior players, and where they're playing are not playing. It's not a good look, right? Everybody thinks it's a walk in the park for us to qualify. We have brought in this so-called guru to help. I keep telling people, it's about the players. It ain't about no coach. It ain't about no manager. About the players. It's rare you can win without good players. And right now, there are too many players who are not, look at the team. Lemba Kisa, Lati, Holgate, Pinnock. I didn't see Pinnock in the Brentford team. I don't know what's happening there. Is he injured? I didn't see that. Hayden. A lot of players are injured. Lati, I didn't see Russell. Mothersill on the bench for his new team. I have a point to make, actually. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm going to say this. So I'm going to see how this works. So Dixon is now at Crawley Town or Walkie Town, whatever it is, in League 2. Tyrese Campbell is in the championship getting game time. I want to see when we are picking teams and playing, how that's going to work. Right? Somebody playing 2 levels below somebody else. Let me see if this is picked based on merit and where you're playing versus who born where. Because we get all these excuses before, and which I don't buy, but it's okay. So Tyrese is one of them few wingers. And then we have the prodigal son who may be going someplace else. Didn't play for Villa the other day. So maybe going overseas or wherever he's going, whether it's Saudi or Roma, wherever he's going. Right? Gray's playing for Birmingham and starting. And I think he got replaced the other day, last game. And he seemed to be much fitter. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look, people. The way the players who inform that team, and most of those core players, they're in the 23. And Antonio, people talk about under 21, you don't have a team. So Antonio don't have a team. Hayden don't have a team. Holgate don't have a team. People tell me that Holgate going to Saudi Arabia. I haven't seen it. Don't have a team. Pinnock getting old. Lamakisa, does he have a team? Not a good look. And then Cephas is in Siberia. I don't know. Ethan picked up a knock. He needs to go play for his team because they're awful. Yeah, it's not a good look, people. It's not a look for the national team. I don't know if that's going to work. Now, there's some new players supposed to be coming in. Rico Henry played for Brentford, but they look horrible. And Max is starting for Rangers. At least the last time I watched him play. But even some of those players, we're not sure they're going to get their papers in time. So it's not a good look. And I hear people talking about, the new players. You can't bring new players in. You need to solidify the team. You need chemistry. We do. Chemistry with people not playing on football. The chemistry going to be, we don't play on football. We're on the bench and we don't have a team, so we got to have chemistry. You must think this is kumbaya and church we're going to. You need to be playing football. Not a good look, people. Not a good look. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not a good look. And if I'm the coach, I'm pulling my hair out. Well, I don't have any, but I'm sure he has a lot of hair, full head of hair, and he needs to. But I'm sure the genius will get bringing it home. I'm sure the genius who's been brought in as a technical advisor will get us to the promised land. So I shouldn't be concerned, actually, at all. Norman is in excellent form. Yeah, but nobody watching leagues in Denmark. We don't have. Well, I guess Wife Scout may. Does Wife Scout carry stuff from them? Because the one that got them to watch no Norman camera. Here's what I realized too, people. When we talk about local players, it's mainly local players who play in Jamaica. Because whether you're Stewart or Norman Campbell, wherever you are, people don't watch you. Yeah, people like Cephas, who is known, and maybe Lowe and Blake, who have been there for a long time. But nobody now watch it. No Norman Campbell, no Flemo. Nobody now watch them. No Stewart, nobody now watch them. No, sir. They got to go talk to the assistant coach who picks the local players, locally born players. What do you mean? Hey, what kind of fool question, Odell? What kind of fool question? Never touch that fool question. I want to ask him which track and field country me support. What? Which country me support? Period. On track and field. Period. Odell, what kind of question, Odell? I mean, sorry for disrespect, you call a fool question. What kind of question, Odell? You diss me, star. You diss me. That question is a diss. It's like this question that Odell. This. Why am I tell you, star? You sound like the man who JFF who picked the local player them. So when I ask him which country we support in the track and field, which country we support, period, on track and field thing this. It's about belonging. It's a belonging issue. Okay? It's not about track and field, it's a belonging issue. You may live someplace, but doesn't mean that's home in a sense, right? In terms of how you view the concept of home. So anyway, you only support one country in the track and field. One country support in the track and field. 2 countries in the football, but one is on the periphery. And what else? When I support nobody in the cricket, stop support cricket. Can't take the pressure anymore. I'm a heritage Jamaican. There's no such thing you're a heritage Jamaican. You're Jamaican. I have a passport and I have citizenship papers. Can't tell me nothing. Me not take it like the other. You see the man from England who come and take the nonsense. Me not. Because I grew up in Jamaica, you know, so me not. Me a real yardie. Me not push back thing and me kick on the door. Me not wait. Me not kick on the door. Me not ask to get that night door. Me kick it down. Can't tell me nothing. If I me like them, so the Jamaican people them born in Jamaica can talk, and then the Englishman them just shut up and say nothing because them say nothing. And I me that. No, sir. I kick on the door. Me not ask to go through no door. Yeah, well, it's hard for some players to go overseas, right? BM, I mean, it's one thing to say they should go overseas. Another thing is to get visa and get opportunity, have the right agent, or you at the right level. So I'm not going to beat the players for that. They just got to get the support system to allow them to go there. They just got to get the support system, and the support system sometimes is not there. But I am concerned about the reggae boys. I am very concerned. I'm very concerned. My hope is that we'd have gotten those 5 players in who want to come to join the team, because they all are playing. You know, Max is playing, Rico is playing. Who else? Cameron Archer is playing. What's his name from Crystal Palace is playing. So those players are playing. So I don't know. And even though a couple of them play in the same position. Every player I ask about nowadays, Amari Bell, where Amari Bell there? Where Pinnock there injured, where Ross there injured, Lati there injured, where Lambeki said they're not on team, where Holgate they're not on team, where Aiden they're not on team. Right. It's out of control. At least Burrell is at what? Queen's Park Rangers. I think he got some game time the other day. Concerning that Motherfield on bench now, in the League One team. That's not good, people. That is not good. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the coach is going to do. It'll be interesting what the squad looks like that comes in. And it's not a given. It's not a given. We're going to beat any other team. Them we're Burnley and Trinidad. It's not a given, people. Bet is playing with a Charlton. I didn't watch Charlton this weekend. How did Tyrese look? You watch the game, Rob? I haven't watched the game. I haven't watched Charlton. I watched Charlton last year when Tyrese was playing. And I did get a chance to interview Tyrese for a few minutes when I was in Jamaica when he came. Yeah, nice young kid. Nice kid. Get played in Qatar. Same there, Bush League. Okay. We don't want people got no Bush League to play for no money. You see what happened to Gray when he go Bush League? Unfit at Bush League. So I don't know what Bush League. Tyrese look good? Okay. Well, let's hope Tyrese gets some looking in because championship in the know. Nobody can say they're League One. I don't want to give no game and have Dixon to play by him because Dixon will play by Tyrese. I call it out right now. Dixon must not play by Tyrese. It's not fair to the kid. Yeah, the current I am saying the players. I go. Oh, okay. Yes, that's true, BM. We do tend to go overseas, and then when they go overseas and play, we don't because how do I put this? The JFF is inept in a lot of ways. That's a JFF. Jackie said, "Good question." Is the British? He showed me passport saying he's Jamaican, but England female. I have no response to that. I support the England women's team because Jamaica is not playing. Gotta support somebody. And yes, I actually my British passport has expired, people. So don't say a British passport, DJ Gigs. It expired. It expired years now. I haven't renewed it deliberately. I haven't renewed it, but my Jamaican passport is active. And my American passport obviously is active. Dixon Van Nice coming for Crawley Town. He has a cameo for Crawley Town. Him not start, or is it because he went there of late? Crawley Town, they're League Two, you know. Rotted. At least he got some time. So we ain't got no team much to get time. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. I don't know what we're gonna do when it comes to this. It's his first game on loan. Okay, he'll get more game time, but it's still that League Two, you know. So if he plays with Tyrese Campbell, then we don't know where I do. Sorry. I like Dixon, by the way, people. I think Dixon got a potential. But he hasn't hit the ball off the cover. They wouldn't send him on loan to League Two. They're saying is that so they're saying he's not as good as Tyrese Campbell. That's what they're saying. And we're saying he's better than Tyrese Campbell because we play him versus Tyrese. Lord help us. That's what we're saying, you know. They're saying he's not as good as Tyrese. So he has to go to League Two, one step down from where he was. And Tyrese went one step up and Tyrese is playing. Whisper back on the pitch. Good for Whisper. Whisper, this the program. Whisper, I've party when he's going to play for the Jamaica team. Now I forget them thing there. Hopefully Whisper recover and play well and can get to the team, but it's hard to see when you're in a P2, you know, versus national team, you know. So I don't people, as a team, we're all over the place. All over the place. When it comes to the Reggae Boys, we're all over the place. All over the place. The players, the system, the process, all over the place. It's not looking great at this point in time. Now, hopefully, the season's still early. The beginning of the season's still early, but we don't have much time, you know. When's the first game? September 9th? We have like, what? Was it 3 weeks? Just over 3 weeks? For the first game? It's not a good look. It's actually 3 weeks. It's not a good look at all. We have players starting in the EPL, but they're not part of the setup yet. That makes any sense. So we have what's his name starting for? Well, he's not. I shouldn't talk about players starting who don't have their passport yet. But Rico Henry start. The left back for Crystal City. I don't know why his name keeps eluding me. Starts. Who else? Max Aaron starts at Rangers. Play either position. Those are the 3 EPL players. Bobby Reed is no longer EPL. He's at Leicester. Antonio don't have a team. Those are the 3 players. And they're not, all those 3 players are not yet in the national team. So we don't have no EPL starter in the national team because Bailey now start. But Bailey not even get no, that did not change. Bailey was like a Roma. No, we don't have any EPL starters at this moment. That's in the team and we can say could play tomorrow. Okay. That means Emery thinking not gonna. Hey, people, it's bad enough. Here's how it's bad, people. I drink some water first. People, please hit the like button. Yeah, Tyrese Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell from Crystal Palace, left back. Here's how it's bad, people. You know how bad it is? Aston Villa have no wingers and them still get rid of Bailey. Let me repeat that. They don't have no wingers. Well, that's not true. They have Malin who they brought in, but not start him. But they might play the captain out wide, and they might play Rogers on the other wing. McGinn play left. He's not a winger. Now Henry has changed his system somewhat, but they still get rid of him, and then don't true wingers. It's amazing. Yeah, it's not good, people. Maybe we should go just follow track and field and stop with the football and cricketing, because I get from bad to worse. Right? Is he gonna start at Roma? That's a question. Is he gonna start at Roma? Yeah, they got rid of Ramsey because of PSR, right? They got rid of Ramsey because Ramsey put 40 million in their pocket, and Ramsey wanted to leave. But Ramsey's not a winger. But they got rid of Ramsey because they can take all that money and reinvest it. Villa has PSR issues. They spent too much money and didn't spend it as they should. It got them into the Champions League last year, but a lot of clubs do that. They sell the academy players because it's pure profit. That's why they're selling. I don't think they want to sell Ramsey. Newcastle did that with Anderson and a couple more players, right? You sell academy players, that's pure profit. So yeah, that's why they sold Ramsey. If Newcastle buying you, it's a good team. He's going to a Champions League team. So I'm sure he pushed for the move. That's why Villa sold David Luiz last year. They didn't want to sell David Luiz, but they got 50-something million from Juventus. David Luiz bombed at Juventus, maybe going to Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he didn't fit Emery's system. He wasn't playing as well as he should and got rid of him. So Jamaica things that don't look good, people. At least Gray is getting some fitness at Birmingham, but Gray dropped down the championship. He was at the Premier League at Everton. Daesh didn't like him or his work ethic. He went to make some money in Saudi. The only good thing I say about Gray is this. If he went to Saudi for 2 years, he probably made as much money as he made in the entire journey in the Premier League in that 2-year period, I would expect. So, yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Andre Blake injured. So we have a MASH unit. He's some doctor. Everybody injured. Everybody injured are not on team. Right. Well, maybe it's a chance for JPL players then. We could pick all JPL team, but they haven't started their season yet. So that's not even good either. We have problems, people. But you know what? The Tyrese Halls, the Janier Johnsons, the Tyrese Campbells of the world, they should get a chance to come in and show their stuff. So, yeah. JFF, make sure you lock them up. Jamaica told Omar to improve his game, and we disrespected Mothersill because they played better than I'm trying to remember that. You said with Dixon and the headless chicken. Why you keep reminding me of this? I like Dixon. I still like Dixon. I'm not going to change my view. I still like Dixon. Decent player. Casey Palmer belly is growing. He wasn't going to get no game anyway, so might as well grow him belly. I never had a bad thing to say about Omari Hutchinson. But Omari is also an opportunist, right? Let's not get twisted about Omari. Omari didn't want Jamaica to cap him. Omari and his associates or his team, they managed his career well. Omari left Arsenal as a teenager because Arsenal wasn't giving him game time by Arteta. He went to Chelsea. He wasn't happy. He went to Ipswich, got his move. Chelsea sold him. He played in the Premier League. They've done a brilliant job managing his career. They're very smart about what they do. But he didn't want to play for Jamaica national team. I don't care what you told me, Claudine. He didn't want to play for the national team. He didn't want to be capped. Now, did they treat him right? No, but he didn't want to be capped. Some of these young players don't want to be capped, no matter what they want to tell you. They don't want to be capped. And that's why things happen a certain way. Doesn't help that we have a JFF that is challenged and donate their head from the, you know what, sometimes. But Amari didn't want to be capped. Yeah, we have a mash unit. A mash unit, people. Yeah, I'm dating myself, but it's a mash unit. Doesn't mean that you can have mash unit and jargon without dating yourself, but I am dating myself. I don't mind dating myself. Amari has some brilliant advisors. They found a way to pull him out of Arsenal, get him to Chelsea. That didn't work. He moved to Ipswich. He made all the right moves. And it's worked out well for him. He's been sold for what? £37 million to Nottingham Forest. He may get a chance to start on the right because they don't really have a right winger now, do they? Hudson-Odoi started on the left. They got rid of Ilanga. He's Ilanga's replacement. They sold Ilanga for 57 mil. They bought him for 37 mil. They may have to give some money to Chelsea. Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't think we should blame Jamaica alone for Amari's situation. And Amari's not the only one. There are other players who Jamaica want to cap who don't want to be capped, right? And so if you come to play for the national team, you can't say they want to be capped. Then don't come. That's my philosophy. Don't come. If you don't be capped for the national team and you come play practice game, don't come. Stay here. I'm not going to play that game. We're not playing that game. I'm not going to be a hypocrite either. If you want to come for Jamaica, you don't want to play, then stay in England. He's brilliant for the under 21. He played the entire tournament. They won the championship. Wonderful for Amari. Good luck with your future. But stay here. Nobody's indispensable in life. Nobody in life. Nobody's indispensable. Even the fictitious Jesus is not indispensable because people rely upon that. People believe. Nobody's indispensable, people. I mean, I'm by the thing about XY. No, he's not indispensable. Go play for England. Go play for Nottingham Forest. Good luck with your career. But if you don't want to be capped, stay here. You're wasting time. And you're wasting our time. We're not into that. We're not buying that. And I'm not going to support the nonsense when it comes to that. And he's not the only one, people. It's going to be an interesting window coming up now. It's going to be a very interesting window coming up. Very interesting window. There are some players who want to come play with Jamaica. So it should be an interesting window. Cranky, stop blaspheme. There's no such thing as blaspheme. Claudine. If me tell if it stops worship Jesus, you're going to get upset, don't it? So why are you going to tell me to blaspheme when I don't believe in blaspheming? Why are you going to do that? I know the people. Look, I grew up in Jamaica. I understand the relationship that people have with the omnipotent being and with his son. I understand that. But that's you. I'm going to tell you there's no omnipotent being. I'm going to tell you that. But this thing about man believing that he has the ability, that the omnipotent being made somebody in their image, stop the nonsense, man. Stop the nonsense. I found the thing and I go believe it. Don't bring it to me. Because I not believe it. I'm not come on. I said Jamaica, I'm not come on my mouth. Let me say it. I don't believe in that nonsense. I don't believe there's no chosen race. That's a bunch of hogwash. You have an omnipotent being who made people and then same select a race, them chosen. That's why I'm going to read the Bible no more. Can't take the nonsense. People will write it, put themselves at the top of it, and say they're chosen. Jesus, God, help me. People booing you when you get... Yeah, but people... Hey, let me tell you something, Claudine. If you play at England, you get booed all the time. By your club for the country. Look at Rashford. Look at Sancho. Look at Saka. They get racist chants of them. I don't disagree that Jamaica shouldn't boo the kid because he's a kid then, teenager. It ain't no different in England. It's worse in England. Don't come here and be sensitive when in England it's worse. Semenyo got racist thing through him this weekend. He was born in England. He's English. He never play for an African country. Semenyo is English. He didn't want to play for England, play for another country. Right? So at the end of the day, don't complain when you come to the Caribbean and you get some pushback. These players are hypocrites when they do that. That's not okay. When you're in England, you get blasted. You don't play well, you get cussed out. They call you reject. Well, Jamaica call you reject. Then call you no good and what do you call it? There's some other name they put on these players which I find disrespectful. I'm not going to disrespect the player. All players can play. They're professional. They're better than I am or ever was. They can play football. They're playing at a professional level. Now, they may not all be at the level that you want them to be. So I'm going to disrespect them. But don't come here and complain about being some negative comments you get. When you're at home, you get worse comments. Really? Not buying that. Cranky, Jesus is real. Yeah, man, he told everyone, me soon come back. That was over 2,000 years ago. Can I see more? If you believe Jesus is real, that's your prerogative. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna leave that alone. It's a very emotional subject when you talk about deity and God and Jesus. It's a very emotional subject. I get it, right? We all have been brainwashed in some way, shape, or form. A lot of us have been brainwashed about a lot of different things. I can't say there's no God because I have no proof that there's no God, right? And I can't tell people not to worship God because that's nonsense. But some of the things that people talk about, like Jesus and Chosen One and Camel and Needle, go watch my video, people. Go watch my video. There's so much contradictions. Like, go watch my video. Watch a video. When you do this program tonight, go watch a video. Please go and watch that video. I dropped a video yesterday on the God question. Please go watch it with an open mind. Don't watch it like Claudine, because her mind closed. Claudine mind closed. She don't want to hear nothing from me when it comes to that. In fact, she don't want to hear nothing from nobody. So I can't convince people like Claudine to go watch a video with an open mind, because that's not happening. But others of you in the chat who have an open mind, who are inquisitive, who are challenged by some of these questions, listen to it. I'm not trying to convince you of anything, just listen to it. So, Cranky, are you saying that lions and tigers couldn't be in a boat for days with goats and sheep and not eat them? Come on, they were on diet. I'm right, that one, though. That's a good one. That's a good one, big head. That's a good one. Cranky, only have fools that there is no God. An atheist would say the opposite. I never said there's no God. And you never hear me say there's no God. I would never say that. I would never say there's no God. And I'm not going to try to convince the atheist otherwise either. Or the agnostic otherwise. I'm not. I love the diet quest comment though. That's a killer. Oh Lord. Yes, Pastor Blake. Hey, tell some people. I got 5 more minutes left. Pastor Blake, calm me up. We had a good conversation, by the way. Blake and I get along. And first of all, he saw Pastor Blake didn't even people even watch a video now. Him just said the thumbnail, and the man texts me quick. And I'm gonna say in my mind, what he basically says, I'm misinterpreting certain things, right? I'm not as informed as I should be, and that's fine. It's probably the case. I'm gonna protest it. So next week, Sunday, the 31st, we'll have the conversation at 3:30 p.m. That's the plan. Please come and join me and bring all the converts, them to come, people. Bring everybody come. Should be a good conversation. Kind of another perspective. And I'm learning, and I want to learn. I'm a student of this. I won't even do much preparation either. I'm just gonna bring logic. Me and logic I come. Me and logic I come to the discussion. Me not gonna go do no research or nothing. Me I just come with logic. That's all me I come with for the discussion. It's logic. Me I'll leave all the preparation. Me not come in. Someone prepare for everything me do now. Spend time on research and do preparation of it. Me not gonna prepare. I use my life experience and logic. Why question or disparage people's belief? If the US we discourage arguments about race, religion, who is this? Who's denigrating anybody's belief? Nobody's doing that. What do you mean? Nobody's denigrating anybody's belief. And that's nonsense about we shouldn't talk about race and religion. That's nonsense. That's not the US. That's some people in the corporate who discourage it because they don't want the emotional thing in the corporate. People do it personally at home. And I do it all the time. The race discussion needs to be had. The religion discussion should be had. The birth should all that should be had. There should be discussion should be had. That's part of the problem the US have. They don't want to talk about it. They can't fix it. And people go home and be covert in what they're doing. That's part of the problem. Nobody talking about race. So you can't fix a problem by hiding from it. Now, I said this in corporate, in executive meeting, and I'm saying it here today. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. It's the most important thing you can do in your life. Whatever you're uncomfortable with, get comfortable with it. Otherwise, you're set up for failure a lot of times. And uncomfortable situations. When you're comfortable with the uncomfortable, you will not be uncomfortable. The whole thing about God and hell and heaven and opposites and contradictions where people hide from, why are you hiding from it? Go, people, watch the video. When I come back this week, we can talk about it. Go watch the video and then we have the conversation. Cranky, we're into dangerous times. You think Trump is anything yet? Where Bobby and Mark would run and seek it. People. Anybody who made a comment Claudine does make, now read them Bible the right way. Let me say this again. The comment Claudine does make, you now read the Bible right way, Claudine. You know why? Because throughout the Bible is always perilous time. History is perilous time. People went through World War I, went through World War II. We dropped bomb Hiroshima. What are we talking about? There have been wars and wars and wars throughout history. Whether it's way back when in conquistadors days, whether it's Napoleon, whether it's we wipe out the whole civilization with the Arawaks. And what are we talking about? There's always been times like this. Man, it's always been like this. Things have gotten better. We came through the 50s with wars in the Korean War. We came through the 60s and 70s with Vietnam War. We went to the 80s. We had less war in the 80s. And then we went to decide we want some more war. We're going to Iraq. And there have been other wars we don't talk about. There are wars in Africa 24/7. Much more ethnic cleansing and ethnic killing. We had South Africa. We got to go through our history, people, and stop talking about what the Bible says, things will be worse. No, all the Bible is was take history and just regurgitated it. These things have been happening forever. Just forever. Think about warm up. Forever. You should be more worried about climate change than those things in the Bible. Climate change is what we worried about. Because we got Jamaica the other day, could hardly breathe, it's so hot. In the US this year, the heat is getting repressive. In Saudi Arabia and those countries, you can't go outside during the day. We're killing ourselves. So this whole concept about, these times and I don't know about that. Not enough change. Times have always been perilous. Men always kill man and kill everything about it. Man want to kill off the planet. Here's what you guys should do. Yeah, people should listen to you. Don't disregard anybody. You can listen to your pastor, listen to your preacher, but listen to George Carlin. Listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Expand your mind and listen to other people, then make an informed decision. Don't just take what you have grown up on, and that is the Bible, and that is life, and that is law, and that's all the thing you listen to, and you close your ears, you put up your hand over your ears for everything else. I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. That's what I get from people. That's what I get from some women in my family. They don't want to hear it. Fine, okay. I'm curious, I'm going to hear it. It probably is the safest time in history, even though we have a Gaza situation, we have Sudan situation, we have Ukraine. It's probably one of the safest time in history. You come to the 70s in Jamaica in election time. What are we talking about? Maybe if in Trinidad, you may disagree given what's happening in Trinidad, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right, Eagle Republic. I know. It's interesting. No. He'll talk about the Bible. Look, it's gonna be an interesting conversation, people. Come listen to the conversation on I am not trying to disprove anybody of anything. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind on anything. I just want people to listen. Because what we don't do as a people, we don't listen to each other. Or we say we're listening, but we're not really listening. We're just thinking about our point of view. We're not listening. Gotta listen with your brain, not your ears. I coined that comment, and I love it. Listen with your brain, not your ears. Because when you do, you'll be more open to challenge, more open to other people's perspective, more open to what's happening around you versus just cut off. Anybody tell you they're a chosen race, I'm going to tell them go jump off a goddamn bridge. That's me when it comes to that. Don't tell me you're not choosing nothing. I'm not having it. Do not tell me you're choosing anything that God chose you. Then you have lost me. If you tell me that God chose you as a race, you have lost me. And you can't get me back. You cannot. Not buying it. So here is Football Guru says, I don't see any discussion across groups about race origin in the US, just people trying to argue that theirs is superior. Nobody minds getting changed. It just create bad feelings. I'm not going to disagree, but I think it depends on who's having the conversation. They discourage the corporate environment because it's too emotional and they don't want to disrupt the workplace and they're all about profits, right? But in other circles, sometimes people will have the conversation. The conversation may not be between races. It may be within races. And that's what's happening, right? It may be within races. Now, in the US nowadays, most people think that the Jewish community supports what's happening in the Middle East. A lot of people who are Jewish don't support that. They're fair-minded people. They believe in righteousness. They believe in goodness. They believe in equity. They believe in being equitable. They don't support that, some of those things that's happening. Everybody's put lump people in all this one basket, and it's unfair to do that. Right? So yeah. Big issue with the world is a lack. A lack of what, Drew Ross? Patrick Riley, that's an interesting comment. You know something I should know? I agree, Patrick Riley, but he doesn't believe he's gonna have a hard time, but he will. Good evening, good night.
Thank you. Vibes, man, thank you.
Vibes, man, how are you doing?
I'm good, very, very good. I was saving the question for Pastor Blake.
So save it. No, save it.
Hold on, man. Claudine, I'll give her a little piece of it. Why you ask the people them in our chat, which blood is more important? The blood of Jesus or the blood of African people?
The blood of who? Jesus or African people?
Are the blood of African people? Because I'm the blood of Jesus, them bleed, you know. So more know where the blood of African people who bleed and dead to we there so afford liberty. Because every church me say the blood of Jesus make we have liberty and freedom, you know. You know, so I'll tell you something, Cranky. There's a great king. And when we don't talk, you're going to know who we talk. And them ask the king that question, I say. If him throne connected to King David,
right?
And the man tell them same lineage, go way beyond King David and stop it there so and done with them. But our thought just the right of Jesus Christ, our thought not going nowhere else away from Jesus Christ. They make it look like nothing ever about before Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And you know why we do that?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you why we do that, Cranky. Because we don't want to be better. Because technically we're supposed to be better than Jesus, you know. Because what we have to our disposal now, Jesus never have it, you know. Even if it exists, he never have it, you know. Because we can fly go anywhere in the world now, go help people. Him couldn't do that. But we don't want to be better than anything else. So we stop with that of Jesus Christ. And that's why you think they no can keep. Think about it. And because we don't want better. And now we want to be better. We don't stop them a foolish start there. Because we can be better. No, we're supposed to be better.
Yeah, you wonder what influences the thought process as to why we're so different and we do things so differently, right? As you're saying, which is we're not monolithic in terms of how we operate and how we live and how we converse and how we operate. But it's also strange that we wouldn't all be good in a sense, right? Given the implication of being bad, it's weird that an omnipotent being that's why some people don't believe in omnipotent being, because their perspective is, why would omnipotent being allow this to transpire? And then the Christians and those who are religious will give you all sort of excuses and rationale, and they will tell you misinterpreted the Bible the right way or the wrong way, and misinterpret God the right way. And
there's some I go cranky.
Yeah.
And there's some I going on because look how much 500 years I struggle we go through as black people. Where was he then? Come here, get ignorant with them talking. Where was he? Where was he? Claudine call for him now, but we don't even need him now because we got through worse time than now. I wanna call for him now. Where was he? When the people might get kicked off of the boat and drowned in a sea, and them neck get chopped off to we there and so. Where was he? Cranky, me and my partner go Puerto Rico, you know. And we are walk down one place must be called Punce. And she said, a big pretty church. And she said, come, we go tour the church. Me said, who you talk to? Tour what? Me said the church came with slavery. And that's so come we mind get caught because our mind they enslaved enough to make we believe certain things. You understand what I say?
Yeah,
Because
I hear you.
it's just the things where we go through and people say, right now, Cranky, for where we are going, we all need Jesus. We needed Jesus. We ancestor. Cranky, look how we ancestor go through. You don't think they need the blood of Jesus to help them then?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, actually.
True, we not chosen. True, we never chosen then. That's why we go through them separation there.
But here's what I find interesting about that. For somebody to have the audacity to say they were chosen is unbelievable.
Man, that thing, you know, like that, but that's my biggest problem, you know. That my big, and people believe, even my friend them at Jamaica, when we go down there, we are beg me money. Believe that, you know.
Well, no, I mean, most people, but in Jamaica, you are forced. I'm gonna call it forced because I was forced to go to church, and you're almost forced in believing. Now, I'm not gonna tell anyone not to believe. That's their prerogative, but you're almost forced to think a certain way.
Can't remember, I saw me meet up on YouTube, you know, to tell you say things that is a belief is entitled to you, just you alone. You don't have to bring it to me,
right?
Because I your belief, you don't have to bring it to me. Me not have a problem with you believing what you want to believe.
Yep.
Keep it over there, so. But
Yeah.
when we talk now, we have look how the lady say you have blaspheme. What is the meaning of blaspheme? Cranky, you have some word, you know, that is exclusive to some people, you know. Blaspheme are one of them. Where the one where the Jewish people them use anti-Semitic are one of them.
Yeah.
Anti-Semitic is only for them alone, you know.
Yeah.
Think about what I said to you. Anti-Semitic is only for them alone. Blaspheme is only for who not believe in a Christianity, you know. What's the difference?
Well, I suppose the last thing is if you talk, I guess you talk almost in opposition to God, I guess, but Frankie, for someone, go ahead.
What the Muslims say? What the Muslims say? Now I'll show you how it's corrupt. What the Muslims say? If you're not a Muslim, you're an infidel. What is the punishment for infidelity, Tanky?
You ain't gonna be here.
Let me say if you're deep like me. The punishment for infidelity is death, you know.
Yeah, you're not gonna be here. You're not gonna be here. You're gonna be unlived. You're gonna be unlived. Don't use that. Don't use that. Say unlive. Unlive is a neuter.
Yeah, you have unlive. That means if you don't believe in a way them are deal with, you know for your punishment. The Christian tell the same thing. Say you got burn in a fire for more 1,000. Yo, Cranky, goodbye here, sir. Now wait for the pastor man to come.
All right.
Remember, man, remember to answer for me phone, you know.
Yeah, man. Next week Sunday.
Because me liberate my mind long time, you know.
All right, sir.
I tell nobody if you don't believe me, because Cranky is not you alone. Even my ex-wife, then I have argument over it because them are born again when them say, look, we don't know how you can born 2 times. So me and them always have problem because they don't like when we talk.
Yeah. I hear you, sir. All right, Vice man. Sunday, next week Sunday, sir.
Boy, I'm coming in at the reggae boy thing again. This I have to me thing, you know.
All right. Vice man, please go watch that video. Because the contradictions are clear.
I told me that have the time.
No, man, the video had 10 minutes, man. The video had 10 minutes. We dropped the video yesterday. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
I'm gonna find it.
Yeah, man. It's on the live. It's on a video. It's on the live. I made a mistake. It's on the live because I used StreamYard to drop it versus using YouTube. So it shows up under the live column. It's not on the video column. It's under the live column. Yeah.
But Cranky, listen, man. Even if they corrupt with mine, we don't must can straighten out at modern times. Make we straighten out to mind, man. Have an open mind to things, man.
Well, it's very hard to. I don't want to call it straight on your mind. It's very hard to have people to listen to you. Forget about them changing their views. Just listen to you. Listen open with an open mind. They listen with a closed mind. I'm telling you, I've been in my family. They don't. I was talking to my sister. I'm not gonna say what my sister's name, but I was out down south talking to my sister, and she didn't want to hear it from me. She closed. She didn't want to hear it. She looked at me like I'm a madman.
Me have the same sister too, you know. Don't get up with me, you know. Even my sister said to me, "Can you know me? I give you a job. I always give you a job before me leave, right?"
Yeah.
Even my sister said to me, "Something I go on, you know," and she has said to me, "Say God give a message to give me."
That always
so hold on, I say give up that the message. Guy last time I take me and God no have no problem. Then no vex. Why am I give you message? Give me the message straight. She laughed. She said, "You know, easy, you know." But me said the house man they go send message. Come give me and them not have no problem.
Yeah.
You know, give me the message, man.
Yeah. Somebody saying offensive things about God or just blasphemy. You know, if you stop it. See, that's the
Cranky. That can't do you nothing, Cranky. You know, all right, let me tell you something. I go to Jamaica and them are talking and I say, you know, say, Sister Pauline, I go look at job tomorrow. And then go up on the prayer. Them say I'm a prayer warrior, you know. Everybody join up and them pray. And then say you must get the job. But somebody had better qualification than Sister Pauline. Them never know that. And the person get the job. When she go back to the prayer warrior, you know what they say? The devil is a liar. That means I never watch you not get the job. Because they have to find somebody to blame me, no Kanki. I want hold your pastor friend.
Yeah. All right. Next Sunday, Vice man. We'll talk. All right. Bless up. The concept of blaspheme, the concept of disrespecting God. I'm struggling. Nobody's disrespecting God. If somebody said they're atheists, they don't believe in God, that's their prerogative. They're not disrespecting God. They just don't believe in God. That's their prerogative. I've never said I'm an atheist. Nobody's disrespecting God. If I say I don't believe in Jesus, I don't think there's a Jesus, I think that was made up, that's disrespecting God. I think God and Jesus are two different persons. Jesus was to be God's son, right? And I don't believe anybody gonna write me somebody. Here's another thing too. Why is it that it was then that these things occur? Why are they happening now? Why aren't we seeing them now? Why is it way back when then? I used to be like the people in the chat, like Reggae Boys Central. I used to be like that. That's who I used to be. I dropped the videos today, and before the video came out, somebody texted me. Somebody well known in this forum texted me. I won't say who it is. And they want to explain to me how this all works. And they want to explain to me, and I'm listening to them thinking, first of all, I've lived the life. So I've been there, done that. Right? I understand. I've been in the church. I've lived in the church. I grew up with my great grandmother. I keep saying that. Nobody was more religious than her to me. Nobody's more religious than her. And she had a bunch of faults too, but she didn't realize. Bunch of faults. And she was the most Christian person ever. I'm sounding like an atheist. I'm not an atheist. But not because I don't believe things in the sequence that you do, Claudia, means I'm an atheist. If I said I believe in Jesus, doesn't mean I'm an atheist. I don't believe how these things were sequenced. I don't believe in my mind being manipulated by a group of people who tell me but they were chosen ones. I'm telling you that I don't want to cuss, but I get upset when I hear that. Because then they're saying that you're not at their level. They're saying that you're not preferred. They're saying that you're not chosen. They're saying they're chosen. People got to get a grip on what is being said indirectly. Sorry, not buying the nonsense. I'm not. Because people now need proof, and the Bible can't prove anything. Well, I don't know if people need proof, because you can't prove that there's no God, but you can't prove that there's a God. But I'm going to leave that the next Sunday, because Pastor may prove it to me. Right? And people are searching for answers. Please go watch my video. I know most of you watch this program on your mobile device, so you can't go off and watch something else. But as you put this down, it's only a 10-minute video. It ain't going to take much time. I even put some music in the background. I dropped the video, so then I put it down, and then I put some music in the background of the thing to give it more melody to it, more soothing listen. I like the video. I've spent 2 days putting the video together, working 15-hour days. So I'm going to go support the video. Don't get uncomfortable with the uncomfortable. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Listen to the video. Hear what I'm saying. Listen to the rationale for believing or doubting. And then we can have a conversation later on. Maybe you come join us next week Sunday or another day when I come on and talking about stuff, right? Go listen to the video. Come back. Give me a perspective. I'd love to hear it. I'm going to promote the video too. I think it's something we should listen to. And you know what YouTube does? As soon as you drop a video like that, YouTube starts sending you a bunch of other videos that talks about things like this. And I'm going to record some of them too. You can be an atheist, but don't put down Christian belief or make fun of them. How am I making fun of people? I just said I don't believe in Jesus. That making fun of them? Like, what are we talking about? I just said anybody can worship who they want to worship. That's their prerogative. God is a spirit. See? That's the thing. God is a spirit. That's your belief, Jovari, and not trying to convince you not to believe what you believe. Right? Because I can't tell you that there's no God, because then I'd be stupid to say that. Because I have no evidence. I'm an evidence person to suggest otherwise. But I have no evidence for the other aspect of it. I can't tell you yay and I can't tell you yay. Can't tell you yay, can't say nay. Don't have it. Don't have the information. Cannot tell you otherwise. And I would be a fool to say that there is no God And I'm not sure I can go convince somebody that there is a God who don't want to be convinced. No, big boy. I mean, we're talking about the dinosaurs. We're talking about the Earth being how many billion? The Earth is what, about a billion years? How old is the Earth? About a billion years old. And we're saying 3,000 years ago when man became conscious of his environment. Whoa. Hey, I have a question for you people before I go. Man created God. Some people believe that too, Malcolm. No, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to say this, people. I'm going to say this. And maybe this is supporting the God idea, right? Maybe supporting the God idea. I'm going to leave you guys with this as I close down the program. But I thought about the concept of AI. So now man creates AI. Because here's part of the problem with the God theory, or the God way of thinking about God. People always say, God made you and God knows everything before you do it. And I'm saying, but the contradiction sort of contradicts that perspective. But what if it is like this, which is, Jura says, I'm grown enough to realize that people should always allow to be what they wish. Yes, yeah, exactly. So anyway, let me just say this. The subtle problem with the whole concept is this, that people keep saying God knows anything before it happened, after it's going to happen, before, after, within, whatever. He knows everything about everything, knows the future. Go watch the video, but then my video sort of questions, but if that's the case, then how will all these bad things happen? But here's the point I'm going to make. I'm going to leave you with this evening. So man creates AI. Would we agree with that? I want to have yes or no in the chat. Did man create AI? No, say God created, but does man create? Man created AI, correct? Man created AI. Is that correct? Before I go, I want to hear whether he agrees with me or not. Did man create AI? Good. So people say yes. Man created AI. Now follow me on this. I'm gonna close on the program after I finish saying this. Man created AI, right? But even though man create AI, man is now realizing they may not be sure where AI is going, or will AI have consciousness, or will AI now learn how to think, or will AI now take over? So even though man is AI's master, man may become AI slave at some point, given the direction of travel of AI. And AI, if it learns to think, gonna be a million times more intelligent than man, quicker than man, make decisions better than man. So if you are the creator, because you have the intellect to create, but then you have no control over what you create, is that equivalent to the God argument? I want to leave you with that. I'm just going to throw that out there and say, thanks for being here. Eagle Republic. Go watch a video, Eagle Republic. It's in the video. I keep telling you, people, go watch a video. Go watch a video. It's a 10-minute video. Nah, kill you. Eagle Republic, those things that you're mentioning in the video, Eagle Republic. I have it in the video. Go watch a video. Anyway, people, I'm going to close on the program by saying you've been a wonderful audience. We're touching upon uncomfortable things, but you know my theory, not my theory, you know the things I talk about a lot. But here and when I was in professional life, get comfortable with the uncomfortable because it's an imperative and we need to. The problem we have is that we skirt certain issues. Like a person should be talking about their kids with birds and the bees and they avoid until something happens that they want to happen. Let's get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's the only way you get to the bottom of things. If you want to fix things, you can't avoid them. You have to meet them head on. All right? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thanks for supporting the program. Peace out. Bless. You hear me say? Bless. Peace out.